the heart of an ancient forest, where mist clings to the trees like a ghostly shroud, a hunter named Kaelen walked. The first light of dawn painted the leaves in strokes of gold and amber. His steps were slow, deliberate, a rhythm learned from a lifetime of tracking the unseen. In his hands, he carried a net woven from sinew and vine, and a yew bow, its surface worn smooth by years of use. He was a man of the woods, his face a map of sun and wind, his eyes holding the patient focus of a predator. Suddenly, a flicker of movement, a rustle in the undergrowth. With a motion as swift as a striking hawk, Kaelen cast his net. A frantic fluttering, a tiny, desperate struggle. He reached in, his rough, calloused hands closing around a small, delicate body. It was a bird, no bigger than his thumb, its feathers the color of spun moonlight. He held it close, its tiny heart hammering against his palm. He could feel its life, fragile and fierce. For a moment, a vision filled his mind. He saw a crackling fire, its flames dancing and surreal. In his mind's eye, the little bird was roasting, its skin turning crisp and golden. The reflection of the fire flickered in his own eyes, a primal hunger stirring within him. It was the law of the forest, the simple truth of survival. The strong take, the weak are taken. He tightened his grip, the thought of a warm meal, a comforting one in the cool morning air. But then something impossible happened. The tiny bird, trapped within his grasp, spoke. Its voice was not a chirp, but a clear, resonant tone that seemed to fill the forest. "Hunter," it said, "what good will my tiny body do you? I am but a single bite, a fleeting taste that will be gone in an instant." Kaelen froze, his knuckles white. The bird's eyes began to glow with a soft internal light, a mystical aura pulsing around it. "Release me," it continued, its voice calm and wise, "and I shall give you 3 pieces of advice, 3 truths more valuable than any meal." Kaelen stared, bewildered. He had heard tales of magical creatures, but had always dismissed them as fireside fancies. Yet here was magic, real and tangible, beating its wings in his hand. He looked at the glowing bird, then at his own weathered hands. Greed wrestled with wonder. What use was advice when his stomach was empty? But the bird's gaze held a wisdom as old as the trees themselves. Slowly, hesitantly, he began to unfurl his fingers. He opened his hand. With a joyful burst of energy, the bird sprang into the air. It didn't flee. Instead, it flew in a graceful arc, its wings catching the golden light in slow motion. It settled on a high branch, one that seemed to float surreal and dreamlike above the lingering fog. From its perch, it glowed softly, a tiny star in the forest canopy. "Listen well, Hunter," its magical voice echoed. "For my first piece of advice is this: never believe the impossible." Kaelen nodded, his mind still reeling. The bird's calm tone was mesmerizing. "My second piece of advice," it continued, "is to never regret what is already lost and gone." Kaelen listened, but a seed of doubt had been planted. What had he just done? He had let a perfectly good meal go. For what words? The bird then leaned forward, its glow intensifying. And for my third piece of advice, what a fool you are. Had you killed me, you would have found a pearl inside me, a gem the size of a hawk's egg, worth more than this entire forest. As it spoke, a dramatic light fell upon Kaelen, and in his mind he saw it. A shimmering, glowing pearl, an illusion of immense wealth, now lost forever. A wave of profound regret crashed over him, his face contorted in sorrow. He had been so close to a fortune, and he had let it fly away for empty words. He looked up, his expression one of utter loss. The bird watched him, a knowing look in its glowing eyes. "Did you not listen, hunter?" it chirped, its tone shifting from magical to almost mocking. "You immediately believed the impossible, that a bird my size could hold a pearl so large, and now you are filled with regret for something you have already lost. You have forgotten my first two pieces of advice the moment you heard them." Kaelen stood stunned, the truth of the bird's words hitting him like a physical blow. He was a fool. He had been tested, and he had failed. With a final, piercing cry, the bird launched itself from the branch, soaring away into the vast golden sky, a tiny speck disappearing into the light. Below, Kaelen stood alone, helpless in his sorrow, a solitary figure dwarfed by the ancient woods, left with nothing but the weight of his own foolishness.